our
Exactly.
little puppsters, you
And they
know?
did it with what they did. It's an invisible enemy. And so that's where the big fear comes from. I think some of this fear probably started even back, way back with, there's talk about what Hollywood has done and things like that. And I got thinking, remember Old Yeller, the Disney movie where the dog gets rabies and they have to chain him out in the backyard, and it's an emotional story, and the dog dies and all that. And that's where a lot of the fear came in with, we got to vaccinate everything for rabies.
Oh, wow.
Rabies,
It came from that movie, really?
well, it started there.
Wow.
And and so that's one place where a lot of vaccine fear for veterinarians comes in. But here's the other thing, is that in the United States, rabies in domestic dogs is basically eradicated. It has been since 2012. We see it in wildlife, but we don't see it routinely in domestic dogs. We see it in livestock and other things like that. And if you look at state reports, most of the rabies positive animals are skunks and raccoons and those kinds of animals. They're not very often going to be in a domestic animal. And yet we require that rabies vaccine, and people are willing to go get it because it might hurt the humans, which,
Wow.
I mean, it can.
Wow.
So there's that one. And then in the horse industry, there are, Steinbeck's Red Pony was all about a horse that got strangled and died. And I think visions of that have been conjured up in the minds of people, even probably people who haven't read about it, because it quarantines places. Anytime there's a big, emotional tie to an animal that they can make a big disease about, they've definitely got a vaccine sold, even though those viruses live in the environment and they affect animals who are most compromised.